Get ready to the countdown.
A graduation is a symbol of hope and a celebration of the hard work and achievements of every student and parent. This rite of passage is an important milestone for so many and would not want it completely taken away from them. Graduation is a significant milestone in your life, an outstanding accomplishment. We are delighted and grateful to celebrate with you the first virtual graduation ceremony of Pancian Elementary School with the team Sulong Edukalidad, championing the nation's future. The processional, the candidates for graduation. Pancian Elementary School Teaching Staff. Eduardo H. Galia, Health Teacher 3. Rona Joy Olusan, Kindergarten Advisor. Gemaline D. Badwa, Grade 1 Snow White Advisor. Kate S. Sagadraka, Grade 1 First Use Advisor. Renalyn C. Ortega, Grade 2 Rapunzel Advisor. Mark Anthony M. Rangasan, Grade 2 Cinderella Advisor. Jesseline O. Cadano, Grade 3 Sofia Advisor. Joyce P. Tabiesa, Grade 4 Mulan Advisor. Niel G. Barreras, Grade 4 Tambelina Advisor. Jacqueline E. Garanya, Grade 5 Jasmine Advisor. Randy R. Edrada, Grade 6 Aladdin Advisor. Jennifer S. Tabieza, Grade 6 Ariel Advisor. Agustina T. Ortega, Subject Teacher. To make this spiritual, may we feel the presence of our Almighty God through a doxology. After which, we may pay tribute to our national flag by singing the national anthem, followed by panunumpa sa watawat, regional hymn, provincial hymn, and pagudpud hymn.
Ang ganda ng buhay, mahal kong Diyos. Sana papuri sa'yo'y tunay na malubos. Nais kong mabuhay sa mundong kay ganda, na dinadakila'y pangalan mo tuwi na. Ikaw na ang bahala sa amin naman, at sa mga araw na darating pa. Dalangin namin ay pagpalain mo sana. Ikaw ang pag-ibig namin at pag-asa. Ikaw na ang bahala sa amin naman, at sa mga araw na darating pa. Tanging sa'yo lamang hihingi ng awa sa bawat sandali. Ikaw na ang bahala. Makulay ang buhay, mahal kong Diyos. Sana pagmamahal mo sa mundo'y bumuhos. Salamat sa pag-ibig na nasa puso ko. Salamat sa buhay na galing sa'yo. Ikaw na ang bahala sa amin naman, at sa mga araw na darating pa. Dalangin namin ay pagpalain mo sana. Ikaw ang pag-ibig namin at pag-asa. Ikaw na ang bahala sa amin naman, at sa mga araw na darating pa. Tanging sa'yo lamang hihingi ng awa sa bawat sandali. Ikaw na ang bahala. Ikaw na ang bahala sa amin naman, at sa mga araw na darating pa. Dalangin namin ay pagpalain mo sana. Ikaw ang pag-ibig namin at pag-asa. Ikaw na ang bahala sa amin naman, at sa mga araw na darating pa. Tanging sa'yo lamang hihingi ng awa sa bawat sandali. Ikaw na ang bahala. Sa bawat
Panunumpa ng katapatan sa watawat.
Ako ay Pilipino, buong katapatang nanunumpa sa watawat ng Pilipinas at sa bansang kanyang sinasagisag, na may dangal, katarungan at kalayaan, na pinakikilos ng sambayanang makadiyos, makakalikasan, makatao at makabansa.
Pagudpud, nalas bangken, nalibnos, daydayawen, maitantanot, gaput aplaw, angin, anadalos, lugar a pagtungidan, yaamyanan, pagtangtang siti ka ilukwan, gaput puraw, akadaratan, sadyay baybay kapipintasan. Kailyan intay ngag ayaten, ili tayo nga nagpaydumat kayen. Tapno intay magunod, kalikagong tay anarupro. kaimas alames pakakitaan, banbantay, nangangato, narurukbus, akay kayo, mangtetupog, makaay-ayo, punan salon at kenrekta, dagiti tattao. Kailyan intay ngag ayaten, ili tayo nga nagpaydumat kayen, tapno intay magunod, kalikagong tay anaruprup, agbyag-agbyag ti pagupot, kagimungan anaurnos, nasaliwan-wan a panagbyag, mangtedrag sa isang kailyan. Napanayang, pagtatalunan, pagmulaan na duma-dumaamakan, tantanap, narway akanyugan, nalalang to aminuyungan, sangsangaili, mapnekta, awan kaasping na abuya, dito'y pagudpud, masarakan, nangayet anak kaparswaan. Kailyan intay ngag ayaten, ili tayo nga nagpaydumat kayen, tapno intay magunod, kalikagong tay anaruprup, agbyag-agbyag ti pagudpud, kagimungan anaurnos, nasaliwan-wan a panagbyag, mangtedrag sa isang kailyan. Tattao, nagaget, agtuturay ana sa saldet, nasimbeng, panagtutunos, panagrang ay maibagnos. Kailyan intay ngag ayaten, ili tayo nga nagpaydumat kayen, tapno intay magunod, kaligagong tay anaruprup, agbyag-agbyag ti pagupot, kagimungan anaurnos, nasaliwan-wan a panagbyag, mangtedrag sa isang kailyan. Nasaliwan-wan a panagbyag, mangtedrag sa isang kailyan.
Let us welcome Chloe Margie Aguliana with honors for his opening remarks.
Our school's division superintendent, Dr. Joan A. Corpus, our education program supervisor, Dr. Martina R. Aguiliana, our public school district supervisor, Dr. Epipanio G. Rico Jr., heads of the different schools of Pagudpud, PTA officials, headed by Mrs. Rhoda Grace Francisco, municipal and barangay officials, our most esteemed head teacher 3, Mr. Eduardo H. Galia, members of the faculty, dear parents, friends, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant moment to one and all. On behalf of my fellow candidates for graduation, I wish to extend my heartfelt gratitude. For your presence, I welcome you most sincerely to share with us the feeling of happiness in our hearts. Your presence contributes to the happiness we feel today. My friends, we are now ending another chapter of our lives. As we look back through the years, we can't help but raise a voice of gratitude. On this graduation day, we take this occasion to convey your sincere thanks to our parents, beloved mentors, benefactors, and friends, who with patience and tolerance have earnestly endeavored to strengthen our body and soul, that we may be spared from the slings of an outrageous fortune. Indeed, You merit our deepest gratitude. We have arrived at a crossroad, so to say. We are fully aware that graduation does not mean the end of all our efforts, but rather it means the beginning of a long trail ahead toward a distant goal. Though a bit bewildered, we feel ready to meet the challenges that are far greater, far baffling. What we have just met and successfully overcome. I'm confident that the solid foundation imbued to us by this school of learning will carry us through the sea of life safely and confidently. Fellow graduating class, let us add to the luster of the name of our alma mater. Even in so doing, we are required to exert the greatest of our efforts. And whatever we will attain, let it be dedicated to the welfare of our country, our alma mater, and above all the glory of God. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of 45 candidates for graduation, I welcome you all. Welcome, 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 and mabuhay.
The presentation of the candidates for graduation by Mr. Eduardo H. Galia, Health Teacher 3.
Our school's division superintendent, Dr. Joan A. Corpus, our public schools district supervisor, Dr. Epifanio Rico Jr., in my capacity as the head teacher 3 of Pancian Elementary School, I have the honor to present to you the 45 candidates for graduation. 24 are males and 21 are females who have satisfactorily completed all the requirements of K-12 as prescribed by the Department of Education. May I therefore request our public schools district supervisor, Dr. Epifanio Rico Jr. for the petition for confirmation of their graduation, and the school's division superintendent, Dr. Joan A. Corpus, on the confirmation and acceptance with all the rights and privileges as well as duties and responsibilities hereto appertaining.
The petition for confirmation for graduation by Dr. Epifanio G. Rico Jr., Public School District Supervisor.
Dr. Joan A. Corpus, CESO 6, Schools Division Superintendent, Schools Division of Ilocos Norte. Madam, upon the presentation and certification of the school head that these candidates for graduation have satisfactorily completed all the requirements of the K-12 basic education curriculum, in my capacity as the Public Schools District Supervisor, I hereby petition for the confirmation of their graduation this day in the year of our Lord 2020 at Ilocos Norte, Philippines.
The confirmation and acceptance of the graduates by Dr. Joan A. Corpus, CESO 6, Schools Division Superintendent.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Secretary of Education as the Schools Division Superintendent of the Schools Division of Ilocos Norte, as per certification of your school head that you have satisfactorily completed all the requirements of the basic education curriculum of the Department of Education, and acting favorably on the recommendation and strong petition of the Public Schools District Supervisor in charge of your district. Therefore, in my capacity as the Schools Division Superintendent of Ilocos Norte, I now confirm you graduates of school year 2019-2020 with all the rights, honors, privileges, duties, and obligations thereto appertaining. Congratulations.
Our esteemed guest of honor and speaker in today's occasion, the official dam of the municipality led by the Honorable Mayor, our very dynamic Sangguniang Bayan members, barangay and PTA officials, school officials, our stakeholders, teachers, other platform guests, lucky graduates and their parents, friends, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant day to everyone. Nabara akablaaw, tin kayo panagtorpos, class 2020. There's no sweeter victory than the fruit of hard work and sacrifice. Indeed, after several years of incomparable efforts, patience, and perseverance, you shall now harvest the sweet fruit of the seed you have planted, cultivated, and watered, your certificate or diploma. My heart is filled with delight and contentment as I congratulate you on this important milestone of your lives. The global health crisis has challenged us, but it can never hinder you to experience this one-in-a-blue moon opportunity, your graduation rites or moving up ceremonies. Fittingly themed, Solong Educalidad, championing the nation's future. Your end of school rites mark another milestone that will forever be etched in your hearts and minds. The theme highlights the indispensable role of quality education in the pursuit of achieving educational targets towards national goals. This clarion call is aptly anchored with our 5-point agenda, which is serve, strengthening research culture, escalating ICT integration, reigniting reading, writing, and arithmetic, intensifying moral values and recovery program in mental health, and entrepreneurial, sports, and technopreneur partnership and linkages. With the knowledge, competencies, and virtues that the Schools Division of Ilocos Norte had developed in you, you are now capacitated to surpass all the adversities that await you in the next ladder of education. Continue honing your 21st century skills and always remember to keep the flame igniting in your hearts. The rare breed of brilliant teachers in your school have nurtured you with the core values of the department. They maintain a strong drive to educate your innocent yet fecund minds, make valuable contributions to the nation, use their knowledge to give rise to innovations, imbibe the values of honesty to unite people, emulate best practices, and most importantly, encourage one another to build a better society. Allow me to thank your parents for entrusting your basic education with the Schools Division of Ilocos Norte. They are the unsung and silent guardians who bore the untold hardships to the extent of denying unto themselves the simplest comforts of life in order for you to be molded as trusted assets of the community. I commend likewise the provincial government of Ilocos Norte, our local government units, and all the stakeholders for their unwavering support to the initiatives of the schools division. As visionaries and supporters, they serve as our partners in institutionalizing educational reforms and in ensuring the unstoppable delivery of quality basic education to our learners. On this auspicious occasion, I pray that God will bless you always. Again, congratulations and Godspeed.
Graduates with Academic Excellence Award. Julius J.C. B. Boten with High Honors. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Donald R. Boten. Silver Academic Excellence Award. Journalist of the Year. Elocutionist of the Year. Boy Scout of the Year. MTOP Quizzer, First Place Division Elimination Round, Individual and Group Category. Best in Mathematics, Best in Science, Best in Filipino, Best in English, Best in Araling Panlipunan, Best in Technology and Livelihood Education, Best in Edukasyon sa Pagpapakatao, Best in Music, Arts, Physical Education, and Health. Stephanie Shane L. Aglugo with Honors. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Shan O. Aglugo. Bronze Academic Excellence Award, Girl Scout of the Year. Chloe Margie Aguliana with Honors. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Marlon Aguliana. Bronze Academic Excellence Award, Journalist of the Year, Boy Scout of the Year. MTOP Quizzer, First Place, Group Category. Christian Dave P. Alupay with Honors. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Tito E. Alupay. Bronze Academic Excellence Award, Journalist of the Year. Ashmia Angel J. Aquino with Honors. Parent, MS Judy Hamias. Bronze Academic Excellence Award, Girl Scout of the Year. Athlete of the Year. Journalist of the Year. Darlene Joy C. Carlos with Honors. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Geoffrey A. Carlos. Bronze Academic Excellence Award, Girl Scout of the Year, Journalist of the Year. Dyrene Faith B. Garania with Honors. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Glendale S. Garania. Bronze Academic Excellence Award, Girl Scout of the Year, Athlete of the Year, Journalist of the Year. Alana Miles L. Paleracio with Honors. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Edwin Paleracio. Bronze Academic Excellence Award, Girl Scout of the Year, Journalist of the Year. Distribution of certificate to the graduates. Aglugob Stephanie Shane L. with Honors. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Shan O. Aglugob. Aguda Ben Francis M. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Francel B. Aguda. Aguliana Chloe Mar G. with Honors. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Marlon P. Aguliana. Alos Richelle C. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Reynaldo A. Alos. Alupay Christian Dave P. with Honors. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Tito E. Alupay. Aquino Ashnea Angel J. with Honors. Parent, MS Juvelin P. Hamias. Balmores Rochelle. Parent, MS Estrella Balmores. Buted Julius J.C.B. with High Honors. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Donald R. Buted. Calventas Fritz Jamel G. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Gelson L. Calventas. Calventas Kate Angel. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Jennifer L. Calventas. Carlos Darlene Joy C. with honors. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Geoffrey A. Carlos. De la Cruz Arnolfo Jr. F. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Arnolfo B. de la Cruz. De Lima Arian Luisa R. Parent, Ms. Irene D. Rosero. Galamay Alvin John T. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Alan A. Galamay. Galamay Andre Justin A. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Malbert Galamay. Galamay Jessica A. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Ronald T. Galamay. Garanya Dyrene Faith B. with honors. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Glendale S. Garanya. Garcia Justin D. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Roberto T. Garcia. Garote Rosemary B. Parent, Ms. Estrella Balmores. Lorenzo Resame S. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Elmer D. Lorenzo Jr. Lorenzo Ria Marie S. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Elmer D. Lorenzo Jr. Malabo Elicer J. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Eliseo A. Malabo.
Malteso Eliza K.G. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Remy N. Malteso. Masael Jaire G. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Ruben L. Masael. Ortega Carl Daniel J. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. John Carlo S. Ortega. Ortega Dan Leo L. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Rodelio G. Ortega. Padua Mark DJ V. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Rodel C. Padua. Paleracio Alana Miles L. with honors. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Edwin A. Paleracio. Paleracio Hazel D. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Roger C. Paleracio. Pedrona Andy R. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Randy B. Pedronan. Pedronan John Reynald R. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Reynaldo B. Pedronan. Pitlonga Joshua T. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Wilson D. Pitlongan. Ramones Ray Aris G. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Ray G. Ramones. Ramos Rachel Haynes A. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Rodel T. Ramos. Reyes Catherine T. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Christopher Reyes. Tabilas Eliza Lane L. Parent, Ms. Laura P. Calventas. Tabilas James Ryan M. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Russell C. Tabilas. Tangunan Kathleen May O. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Eric Tangunan. Tenorio Marco O. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Melanio D. Tenorio. Chu Clark Dwayne L. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. John Bell O. Chu. Valenzuela Jody S. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Roger T. Valenzuela. Valenzuela Kyla Gift A. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Oscar G. Valenzuela. Valenzuela Prince John Lee T. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Petronilio D. Valenzuela. Viloria Shaira Christy Joy O. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Roma Viloria. Waleng Junicio S. Parents, MS Virginia W. Song. And now, let us listen to the Academic Excellence Address by Julius J.C.B. Boted with high honors.
Our school's division superintendent, Dr. Joanne A. Corpus, our education program supervisor, Dr. Martina R. Agoliana, our public schools district supervisor, Dr. Epifanio G. Rico Jr., school heads of the different schools of Pagudpud, PTA officials headed by Mrs. Rhoda Grace Francisco, municipal and barangay officials, to our respected head teacher 3, Mr. Eduardo H. Calya, to our dear teachers of Pancian Elementary School, parents, fellow classmates, and to all who are watching this virtual graduation ceremony, a pleasant day to everyone. Amidst this crisis, we are so grateful that we had given the opportunity to conduct our graduation ceremony, even though we can experience to march as graduates together with our proud parents. This pandemic made us realize that there are new ways on how to approach our learnings. At first, it feels like we can keep up with our lessons without face-to-face interaction. But as days goes by, I know that making an alternative way is much better than quitting from gaining more knowledge. To our teachers of Pancian Elementary School, thank you for being there in every stage of our elementary days. Thank you for sharing us your abilities to teach us diligently. We may not have been always the best and good pupils, but your teachings will remain in our hearts. To our advisor, thank you for guiding and helping us through our grade 6 days. We may have been naughty sometimes, but your love and patience will help us realize how grateful we are. To my fellow classmates, we are now moving into our new milestone. We are not called pupils anymore. Instead, we will be called students. Thank you for the joy and for being there as we together face hardships and happiness. Let's keep moving forward and be eager to our dreams. This pandemic might be hinder the steps of our ways, but if you have the willingness to achieve something, we will and we can be. To my parents, thank you for all the love and patience. I know that you work a lot just to give us our needs. Thank you for giving care, guidance, comfort, despite of our crisis. Someday, together with my older siblings, we will also help and love you and give back more than you give to us. especially to God. Without Him, I can't achieve anything. Thank you for your plans, for all of it are the best for me and for everyone. As I conclude my gratitude, I hope everyone to remain positive whatever challenges we will be facing, because those are experiences that will make us more courageous and diligent to, to improve the best version of ourselves. If we remain optimistic, we will surpass what trials that would be. Thank you to all and God bless. I wish everyone remains safe and sound.
The message of Leonor Magtolis Briones, Department of Education Secretary, to the graduates.
Sa ngalan ng Department of Education, ang ating mga opisyales, members ng Executive Committee, members ng MANCOM, ang Management Committee, saan naroroon ang mga regional directors at mga superintendents, mga supervisors, ating mga central office directors, at pinaka-importante, mga principals sa mga teachers. Kami lahat ay tuwang-tuwa na natapos na rin ninyo ang mga pangangailangan para magiging considered na kayo na graduates of class 2020. Kayo ay isa-isa kong kino-congratulate. Sayang hindi ko naman kayo pwedeng maka-shake hands o pwedeng mangitian ng personal, pero yung ating magandang asal, yung ating magandang pagtingin sa isa't isa sa inyo, nandoon pa rin. At saka tuwan-tuwa kami talaga, lalo na ako. Para sa akin, ang graduation ay isa sa pinaka-masigla, pinaka-masaya na okasyon sa buhay ng isang learner o isang estudyante. Pero pinakamasaya din yan para sa teacher. Pinakamasaya yan sa lahat na administrators dahil mayroon na namang graduating class na nakakatapos. Kayo ay very special. Special kayo sa parents ninyo. Special kayo sa mga friends, sa mga teachers ninyo, sa community. Special na special kayo, each and every one of you. But you are also special in a different way because you are graduating at the time of COVID-19. Siguro, pag magiging ganap na kayong citizen ng Pilipinas o lumaki na kayo, tumanda na kayo, sasabihin ninyo, ako ay nag-graduate sa panahon ng coronavirus. Ang pag-graduate ninyo ngayon ay ibang-iba sa pag-graduate ng mga nakauna sa inyo or maybe sa susunod sa inyo. Dahil ito ngayon ay panahon ng coronavirus, so mga adjustments ang ginagawa natin. Hindi pwede tayong magtipon-tipon, hindi pwedeng magkita-kita kayo ng mga parents ng classmates ninyo, mga barkada, mga yaya, lolo, lola, at mga parents and teachers. Hindi pwedeng mag-ipon-ipon kayo sa isang lugar at this time. Pero marami namang ibang paraan na kayo ay babatiin at para ma-celebrate ninyo itong special na occasion na ito. Ang iba sa inyo ay magkaroon ng virtual graduation tulad ng sa Davao. Congratulations sa inyo. Ang iba naman siguro maghintay kung mayroon ng mas friendlier environment, mas friendlier circumstances. At saka, hindi lang ito nangyari sa panahong ito dahil sa COVID, may mga karanasan din ang DepEd, may karanasan din ang ating mga universidad kung saan napopostpone, napagpaliban ang graduation. Sa panahon ng mga lola at lolo ninyo, napagpaliban ang graduation dahil yung panahon yun ng gera. At saka mayroon talagang tunay na kalaban na nagdi-disrupt ng ating mga activities. So at that time, yung mga estudyante, hindi sila nakagraduate. Mayroon namang instance na mayroong malaking mga disasters, kaya napopostpone din ang graduation. Kagaya nung nangyari minsan sa UP, dahil napakatindi yung bagyo na tumama sa Manila, sa Central Luzon at saka ibang bahagi ng Luzon, at ang UP hindi nakapagpatuloy sa kanyang graduation. So, ang nangyari, next na lang ng registrar ang mga estudyante na ikaw ay graduado na. Dadating din ang panahon siguro kung kagustuhan ng inyong mga parents o kagustuhan ng inyong mga teachers or administrators na magkaroon din kayo ng graduation tulad ng dati. Pero ang importante ay kayo ay graduado na. Kayo ay pumasa. Kayo ay dumanas sa mahirap na pamamaraan, mga examen, mga ratings, na grado na binigay ng mga teachers ninyo para kayo makonsider talaga na graduate. Ano kaya ang payo na maibigay ko sa inyo sa panahong ito ng COVID-19? Kasi kaiba nga ang sitwasyon ninyo ngayon. Para sa mga elementary school students na mag-move up to junior high school, ibang-iba na ang mapuntahan ninyo sa high school. Hindi na yung araw-araw gigisingin kayo, magdala kayo ng baon, at saka makikita ninyo teachers ninyo, at saka yung mga libro mahahawakan ninyo, mahihipo ninyo. Iba na ang pamamaraan dahil ang gagamitin ICT, gagamitin yung mga learning platforms kagaya ng DepEd Commons, ang gagamitin ay ang mga computer, ang tablet, telebisyon, at saka radyo para matuto kayo. Depende kung anong sitwasyon sa inyong lugar. Para naman sa junior high school na pupunta sa senior high school, baka matuwa kayo kasi nung na-introduce ang senior high school, maraming mga komentaryo, feedback galing sa parents ninyo, galing sa mga eksperto, na sobrang dami yung subjects. Ngayon, na-reduce na natin yung subjects, lalo na sa senior high school, at saka sa iba't ibang baitang, no? So sa junior high school kayong nag-step up na, ang magiging subjects ninyo sa senior high school, sobrang konti kaysa dati. Pero hindi ibig sabihin na konti lang ang malalaman ninyo. Kasi karamihang malalaman din ninyo, marami kayong matutunan sa bahay ninyo, sa pag-aaral ninyo sa learning platforms, at saka sa tulong ng inyong mga magulang, sa inyong lolo at lola, inyong mga mentors sa bahay at saka sa inyong mga, yung sinasabi kong mga tahanan ninyo. So, lesser ang learning competencies para sa senior high school at saka sa ibang grado, pero siguro mas malalim ang matutunan ninyo. Kasi ang pangangailangan ngayon, ma-elementary ka, ma-junior high school ka, o magiging senior high school ka, napapasok na sa universidad, ang pinaka-importante ay yung sinasabi sa batas na critical thinking. Kung may mga problema, kung may mga challenges, kailangang matuto tayo na ito ay ma-analyze, mapag-isipan ng rational, yung sinasabi to natin, ginagamit ang logic, ginagamit ang analysis, kailangan yung collaboration, makipagtulungan ka sa mga classmates mo, sa parents mo, kailangan ng communication, Hindi pwede na ikaw lang mag-isa mag-aaral, magko-communicate ka palagi, but siguro yung sinasabi natin na virtual. Pero ang importante para sa akin, wala yan sa batas, wala yan sa mga libro siguro. Ang importante para sa inyo, sa junior high na magiging senior, sa senior na magiging university, o pupunta sa mga vocational training na nagugustuhan ninyo, ang magiging courageous, magiging brave. Huwag kayong matakot dahil ang mundo na pinupuntahan ninyo ay ibang-iba sa nasanayan ninyo. Hindi naman kayo pababayaan ng inyong mga school, hindi kayo pababayaan ng mga teachers, hindi naman kayo pababayaan ng ating government na nagbibigay sa atin ng mga paaralan galing sa buwis ng ating mga magulang, at hindi naman kayo pababayaan ng mga magulang ninyo. Hindi kayo nag-iisa. Kaya huwag kayong matakot dahil maraming mga bagong bagay na ituturo sa inyo. Maraming bagong tinatawag nila na challenges na haharapin ninyo, pero hindi nakakatakot. Dapat ma-excited kayo dahil iba na ang inyong pag-aralan, iba ng pamamaraan sa pag-aaral, at saka siguro maging mas mabuti kayong citizen kaysa aming mga lola, lolo, at mami, daddy ninyo ngayon. So, once again, congratulations para sa mag-aakyat from elementary hanggang magpunta na sila sa junior high school. Yung galing sa junior high school na magpupunta sa senior high school, at ang senior high school na pupunta na sa vocational, mag-specialized training o magtrabaho o pupunta sa universidad. Congratulations to each and every one of you. It's a new world that you are facing. Siguro, some of you, hindi ako sigurado sa mga elementary students, pero sa mga junior high at saka sa senior high, alam niyo yung pelikula ni Aladdin. Si Aladdin, mayroong magic rug, di ba? Sumasakay sila, naglilipad sila kasama si Princess Yasmin. At saka ang kinakanta nila, a whole new world. You're now leaving your school, you're entering a whole new world, but do not be afraid because you will not be alone. Your teachers will always be with you. Your government will always see to it that you will be educated. Your family will be with you. And most important, God will be with you. So God be with you. Do not be afraid. These are wonderful times. Congratulations sa isa't isa sa inyong lahat. Thank you.
People laugh as they stare at you and say she's got nowhere to go. But if they only know you're thinking, where did I go wrong? How should I move on in spite of what I see? They're losing faith in me. You tell yourself you believe that in every feat it takes a heart to endure all the pain and grief, having the hope to see the best that you can be. Follow your dreams, the courage found within. Your soul is keeping you so strong. you fall and stand up on your own. This time you won't go wrong. Just give your best to hold your will. Persistently become the one you've always aimed to be. Got to find your place where you'll proudly face the wounds that come your way. Sometimes it's hard to say if you can stick to your desire. Never lose the fire that burns up light inside. For you to win the fight, you tell yourself to achieve, you must not retreat. Resist the storms and be tough if you must compete. Learning the path of faith by every road